All right, good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here again today as we continue to provide updates on the states of Nevada's recovery from the recent cyber attack. From the very beginning, I have been clear. Our top priority is restoring services that Nevadans depend on every day. That has not changed. This kind of recovery is never easy. It requires patience, precision, and constant vigilance. But I want Nevadans to know we are making real headway, and every day brings us closer to full restoration. With that in mind, I'd like to share some of our technical progress since we last updated you. First, our IT teams administered a statewide credential reset as a best practice security measure to protect all our user credentials. The statewide password reset was performed as a defensive control to cut off any compromised credentials. Nearly all employees have regained access, and others are resolving any remaining issues through self-service or their agency IT. I know that my office has received several inquiries from the media asking why state employees were not informed of the password reset ahead of time. That was by design. This was done intentionally since broadcasting a reset in advance tips off criminals and increases account takeover attempts during the changeover window. The best practice here is to execute and then communicate. After news stories about the password resets went live, we began to receive reports of phishing attempts attempting to capture state credentials in real time. Thanks to the heightened awareness from our state employees, these attempts were quickly identified and thwarted. As another example of how sensitive these public announcements are, at my first press conference discussing the attack, we defended approximately 150 million hits to our state firewalls in the following 72 hours. So I actually asked my staff, I said, how do you know it's 150? Because that's an exorbitant number. It tracks through the system numerically to ensure that that is an accurate number. For context, the state normally would face approximately 150,000 hits a day. The state has faced over 300% increase in direct attack attempts throughout the recovery operations. At this point in the recovery process, my team continues to balance transparency with operational security concerns. We are implementing stronger governance, policies, and controls across state government. The state has initiated identity hardening processes, which include requiring a stronger minimum password standard and expanding multi-factor authentication so criminals cannot reuse the old logins, the information that the employees used previously. To further assist with this, we've begun a reestablishment of remote access, or VPN, for validated users with multi-factor authentication, which restores services to the rural users. An example of that being the court systems within that environment that depend on this type of connection. We strengthen credentials across the board with the rotation of elevated service accounts and additional protections for administrator access. Additionally, we've coordinated with federal and private sector partners to safely resume high priority, secure data exchanges that support critical essential services. None of these technical recovery processes are simple, but they are working. I want to thank the state employees and partner agencies who are putting in long hours to restore these services safely. In addition to these technical recovery efforts, we also seen significant headway in restoring the state's external resources for constituents. Today, I am pleased to report that 90% of state public-facing statewide websites are back online per the governor's technology office. And the remaining few services that are not back online will continue to be prioritized for restoration in order of public safety and constituent impact. So it's important to understand it. So I'm sure the question to you in the back of your mind, well, what is that other 10%? I don't have that information in front of me, but through my office and the governor's technology office, we can help walk you through those processes. The majority of the 10% are very key components of our entire system that require more due diligence before they are released. But I think it's important for people to realize 90% is monumental in the ability to provide to our constituents. At the DMV, which is the most common question presented, our most public-facing agency, Nevadans have been able to complete essential services in person since last week, such as registrations, title transfers, and driver's licenses resets or tests and renewals. The DMV is now 100% back online. Now, Uno, you asked a question last time that you had information that they were experiencing registration difficulties, is that correct? Or from some dealers? Okay, young lady in the back of the room, sorry. We researched that, and what it is that is occurring, that is the user problems. The majority of those problems have been user-identified problems. In other words, the dealerships themselves improperly filling out the paperwork associated with titles or registration, or the actual customer inundating the system to where they have a default and a reset that is required. If there are continued problems, just like any other department within the state, just contact my office and we will, constituent services, and we will, both for the media and for the general public, and we will get you to the direct department to give the answers that you seek. Additionally, I'll reiterate that our health and social service systems have remained available throughout the entire incident. Should any Nevadans have questions about their benefits, they can access Nevada DHHS websites or visit the Division of Social Services in person. The Department of Public Safety and Governor's Technology Office continues to work 24/7, and we will work through the weekend, as we have done previously, to restore the Brady background checks of the NICS system, the NICS system. There is another point of contention with both our customers and our gun dealers, but it is a public safety priority. It is a very key element in what we do in state government and ensure that bad actors do not receive a firearm inappropriately. And it's a matter of going through dotting the I's and crossing the T's within that particular system to ensure that we have success before we release its availability. I am confident that we will release that in short order. Hopefully through the weekend and continued attempts to compartmentalize that particular system. I'm hoping we can say we have success come Monday. Notice.nv.gov is online. So what is that system? That's the notice to constituents and different agencies that public meetings are taking place. It's the requirement of NRS that a public notice be provided. That particular online access or tool is available as we talk. This is in order to notify constituents and public meetings notices during this downtime. Agencies complied with, this is an important piece of that because it wasn't online. We had to comply via NRS on how we notify individuals of public notice. And that was through NRS 241020. So the 3 steps on that is posting on agency websites, distributing via stakeholder lists, and conducting physical postings within our facilities. Additionally, we continue to update our recovery website so that Nevadans can access all state information from a central secure notice. Every state agency is functioning, serving constituents, and available for constituent assistance. Also, I want to reiterate, we still have not seen any evidence of constituent PII, personal identifier information, being compromised in this attack. As I said last time, if investigators eventually discover otherwise, we will follow Nevada's strict statutes about personal data breaches by notifying any affected individuals promptly and providing resources to help protect them. Nevadans should know this: while we are not yet at the finish line, we are moving there faster than expected. We will continue to be transparent about what we can responsibly share, When operational details could enable copycat attacks or interfere with the federal investigation, we will hold that information back until it's safe to release. That balance protects Nevadans. Nevada has faced challenges before, and every time we come through stronger. This will be no different. Similar to our last press conference, I'm unable to answer any questions today about the technical elements of the attack, the identity of the attackers, or anything about the ongoing nature of the federal investigation. However, I am happy to answer any questions about our evolving recovery operations.